Hi, Will from MusicTech at the NAMM show in Anaheim with Elliot from Cranborne Audio. Elliot, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Good.
So we're looking at some new preamp, well, a reworking of one of your designs. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. Well, the Camden 500 is a 500 series preamp. We've had it out for a few months now. Taking the world a bit by storm, which is great. But not everybody likes 500 series, not everybody's into that. But for those who want that sound, but want it in a 19-inch rack, this is what we have here. So it's essentially two of those Camden 500s in a 19-inch rack, but with a few extra bells and whistles as well.
So for those people who don't know the Camden 500, what's the idea behind it?
Well, what it is essentially is a really clean, transparent, blank canvas that will capture all your audio signals as in a pure way. Because a lot of modern recording, all that saturation stuff you can apply in the box. So for us, it made sense to design something that was really, really pure and transparent that you can then augment later on in your box. So that's one aspect of it. So the front end is really, really clean, really transparent. But the figures are quite crazy. If you go onto our website, you'll be able to see all of those. But not everybody loves clean. Everybody loves that kind of transformer vibe. And we know that and understand that. So we developed our Mojo Control, which is essentially a modeling of a transformer in terms of what it does to the frequency, THD, phase shift, all that kind of stuff.
So, but that's digital then, is that not?
It's not digital, it's all done with discrete components.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so normal resistors, caps, that kind of stuff. But, if you turn it on, it goes to about 4, that's kind of your traditional transformer, British style, console style preamp. But ours goes to 11 and well beyond, really. So you kind of exaggerate that kind of EQ curve, exaggerate the phase shift, and just get more out of it. But the reason it's great is because a transformer does what it does, and it doesn't do what it doesn't do, of course. But because ours is discrete components, if you put it into the cream mode, it'll then do something completely different. So cream is kind of like your tube and your valve saturation. So when you hit it hard, it starts to compress a little bit more, you get more THD, kind of that mid-range smoothing that it does. And again, it's on a variable control that you can exaggerate or you can bypass if you don't want it.
And the extra bells and whistles in the 19-inch rack unit then,
Yeah.
what's different about this?
So this has built-in headphone monitoring. So 2 headphone amps here, they're discrete, they're reference quality headphone outputs. And each of those have controls for the built-in mic preamps. So if you're micing up a guitar cab, for example, rack some headphones in, move the cab around directly at the source, but also has a level for an aux input on the back. So you can send like a DAW mix or click track, whatever, into the unit, and then you can blend and mix between each of the channels as well as the aux input, all on the box. And you get 2 of those that you can adjust there.
Right, okay, and I understand you also have an affordable cabling solution for small studios.
Absolutely, and that's this guy here. So if we start with this one,
yeah.
So this is N22, sorry, now Frank's kicking in. This is N22, and essentially what it is it has XLRs on one end and then Cat5 on the other. But what we're using the Cat5 for, it's not digital or anything like that. We're basically repurposing the cable to transport 4 balanced analog audio signals over long distances.
What is the longest run you can do with one of these?
Well, you can do about 100 meters.
Okay.
It's like anything. The higher quality cable you use, the better crosstalk performance etc. you're going to get. But for really, really great audio connectivity, you can use shielded Cat5 cable, Cat6 cable, and the reason why we're gravitating towards that is because it's cheap. XLR cables, especially when you're running 4 over long distances, it's expensive. So, I remember when I was a kid, I had to run 4 XLRs into my sister's room just to get a vocalist in there, that kind of stuff. Whereas this, we can do it all with Cat5.
Perfect.
And this is how. So
there's this one.
Yeah, this one, yes, and we also have our N22H, which is a very, very similar box, but it has a built-in headphone amplifier. So in simple terms, what you can do is you can connect these 2 boxes together, and if you put an input into N22, it arrives at the headphone output of N22H. So position this in your control room, and position this in your vocal booth, then you can send a monitor mix over to the musician. And at the same time, inputs that come in to the N22H travel down the same cable, and they arrive directly at the outputs of N22. So that's your mic connectivity and your headphone mix all sorted with one cable.
That's very clever indeed.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the basic use. But when you pair it up with our EC2 or our racks, you get kind of more enhanced connectivity, if you like. So if we just look at the N22 quickly, if you connect N22 out to EC2, using a Cat5 cable. Then inputs connected into here arrive directly at the preamp inputs for amplification. And then obviously those get sent off elsewhere after that. But at the same time, the mix that you've created using this headphone amp gets sent back down the cable and to the outputs.
And so how does it all know where to go at this point?
Well, it's all done by us, all preset, it's all analog, plug and play, and it's all good to go. We wanted to make it really, really simple, so by doing that, we just make it plug and play and assign it all on our end.
Excellent, very cool. How much then for these?
Well, we've got a few little things to sort out first before we can announce pricing. With all this stuff going on in the UK, this Brexit stuff, it's quite difficult to know what's going to happen, as we all know, and sick and tired of hearing, of course. But we're trying to get these at a really accessible price point. As soon as we know more, we'll announce it.
Okay, and the same goes for the...
Same deal with it, yeah.
Okay.
We'd rather wait, get the pricing right, because components, all that kind of stuff, they could change.
And when are we expecting to see these available?
Around May time.
Around May time.
That's
Okay,
right.
fantastic. Thank you very much, Elliot.
You're welcome. Thanks
Cheers.
a lot.